In this video, I want to talk about information forms and how to design them. Invoices, order forms, and data collection probably isn't the highest rated jobs that most graphic designers think of, but they are important and they're necessary. We have to fill them in, so someone has to create them. There's an entire branch of design on how to collect and aggregate good data from forms like these. However, I want to focus on what makes a form look nice, because I believe if a form looks nice, then your client and the people who have to fill them out are going to want to do that. Now keep in mind, forms can be made to fit a variety of sizes and formats, both digital and printed. To create a good form, you have to know the software really well. I think a lot of people hate creating forms simply because they feel it's hard to meld together the typographic elements with drawn lines and boxes. Now in a later video, I'm going to show you what to look for when you lay out a form using InDesign. But this can be easily translated into whatever program you're using. Whenever I create a form, I look for things like paragraph rules, tabs. The alignment settings are very important. I use special characters and I try to set up tables. All of these help me quickly build a form, and most importantly, they keep that form easily updated for future use. All of the basic principles of good design can be found in a form, but the secret to a good-looking form, in my opinion, is alignment. Lack of alignment is the single biggest feature that makes a form appear unclear to the user. Now, the other principles are also very important. Things like contrast that help direct the user throughout the form. There can be good proximity to keep things grouped together and related pieces of information together. And there's also repetition that can tie everything together. But it's alignment that makes it key. In this example on the screen, interesting typefaces are used to call out the major features. Bold parts are used for important information, and there's good contrast and there's good repetition. However, it doesn't look as clean and clear as it could be. Check out all of the information and how it's aligned, especially at the bottom and in the fields where they're trying to get your contact information. Now have a look at the redesign. Elements are nice and aligned, which presents a cleaner look and it usually communicates better. Also, spacing was adjusted so that the elements that belong together, like the two lines that suggest donations, they're closer together, and the separate elements have just a little bit of extra space between them. Here they are side by side. The changes may look subtle, but they have a drastic improvement. Let's have a look at a bad form. Now it can be difficult to read the small details, but you should still be able to get a good idea by seeing the page as a whole. I'll make it larger so that you can see it a little bit better. Now this is a typical form that's probably had years of use. It's served its purpose well and it's been updated time and time again, but it no longer looks nice. It's obvious that everything has its place, but it takes a while to understand what the reader should do within each area. A good design allows you to quickly and easily find information, align the information with good proximity, and be able to fill in that information because you know exactly what they're looking for. This form doesn't use alignment to its advantage, nor contrast to call out any of the important features. So the proximity to group similar elements together and to keep things separate seems to be lacking. My first major concern is also with the font and its readability. Everything seems to be typed in all caps and they're using Courier as their main font. So here's an example of a redesign. It has all the same information, but it uses a more visually pleasing layout. First, we chose a new sans serif font for the titles, but we kept an easy-to-read serif font for the major body copy at the bottom. Also, to add some contrast, I set the important words in a heavy version of a sans serif to help guide the reader through the form, as well as making it more visually attractive. The boldest things are the 3 headlines for medical, insurance, and emergency. We used a reverse type, white on black, to set those off. Repetition, we made all of the spacing nice and consistent. For alignment, we made sure all of the boxes and text fit nicely into a single grid where everything is aligned visually. Nothing was placed on this page arbitrarily. We lined everything up, and that's the main thing for alignment. And finally, we gave everything a good proximity where all of the elements that belong together are connected in nice, neat units with plenty of space. When designing forms, you're often designing to fit a brand too. If it's appropriate, tie in your forms with the rest of a business package, like their letterhead and their business card. A consistent look through all the peripheral materials will make even the smallest business look professional. In these examples, you can see where they've used a consistent font and illustrations and color in everything that they do. Now in the next video, I want to demonstrate some of the ways of setting up a document in InDesign to create some simple form fields.